got you covered. This is 19 News at 5.
La Crosse Airport announces another option for travel. And some of La Crosse's youngest artists getting the spotlight at the pump house. And a semi transporting cattle flips over on an Iowa highway after the driver loses control. Thanks for joining us. I'm Heather Armstrong. We begin tonight with a semi-accident on Highway 26 and Highway 82 near Lansing, Iowa. According to the Alameda County Sheriff's Office, a semi hauling cattle turned north coming off the Lansing Bridge and tipped over. The semi was carrying 75 head of cattle. 2 cattle killed as a result of the accident. The rest eventually transferred temporarily to a nearby location using other livestock trailers. Now, the driver of the semi not injured. Highway 26 closed until the scene was cleaned up. Well, brace yourselves for another night of bitterly cold weather. Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Landgrebe joins us now with La Crosse's first forecast. Jeremy, here we go again.
Yeah, we do have another cold night ahead of us. The good news is not as cold as it was last night and earlier today. And ahead, we do have another small chance for some snow. That's going to be tomorrow night, but we're still expecting that middle of the week warm up before we see some dangerous cold for this weekend. Giving you a little bit of preview here. Friday, warming up to 40 degrees, but then you turn around to Sunday. 2 degrees is your high temperature. We're seeing a more than 30-degree temperature shift here over the next 48 hours from Friday to Sunday. Taking a look at temperatures right now at 7 degrees, feels like -6 as we're still going to have those colder wind chills for tonight. Everyone in those negative digits like Roca at -2. We'll move down to about 0 degrees for tonight before seeing some warmer temperatures starting tomorrow as we hit the teens and even 20s at 25 degrees. All more on that snow and cold weather in 15 minutes.
All right, thank you, Jeremy. With the days getting colder and the temperatures below freezing, people are running their heat and space heaters a lot more, which can mean more calls for firefighters. And in these temperatures, it can be more challenging for those firefighters to get water flowing, also to keep their equipment from freezing, and then not to mention them trying to stay warm while they do their job. The La Crosse Fire Department shared some tips to try to help you prevent fires in your own home during the winter.
There's typically more fires in the wintertime just because of people are heating their homes, they're home more often, more stuff plugged in. And then like the electrical, not everyone knows what electrical goes to their breaker boxes. They might need to be updated, but just have to be safe and look after that stuff. Make sure the space heaters are unplugged and your smoke detectors are active.
And they also say remember to keep those space heaters at least 3 feet away from anything that can burn, and also unplug them when you leave the house, when you leave the room, and even when you go to bed. If you enjoy outdoor activities in the cold, you have a lot of options for ice skating. Pogue Park's ice rink opened today. That rink opened from 4 p.m. until 8, Monday through Friday, and noon until 6 on weekends and non-school days. Skating at the park is free. The rental and skate helpers also free. But you have some other options. Other rinks open at this time include Copeland Oktoberfest Shelter and the Chad Erickson Memorial Ice Rink down at Riverside Park. The La Crosse Regional Airport is expanding its service by way of motor coach. The airport officially announced its launch of landline motor coach service to and from Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport. Through a partnership with Sun Country Airlines, the premium coach will take anyone booked on a Sun Country flight to and from the airport for free. The shuttle will also run as a shuttle for anyone else for a low fee booked through landline.
So La Crosse fit that bill because there's a wonderful community here of people that need to travel, but unfortunately they have to drive a few hours to get to most of those destinations. So that's where we come into play. We can help that round trip connectivity, but we're also able to provide access to 100+ destinations through Sun Country's network.
The landline shuttle officially begins on April 1st. The motor coach offers free Wi-Fi, reclining seats, in-seat power outlets, and even an onboard restroom. State GOP lawmakers are putting a photo ID voting requirement into the hands of voters this April. The photo ID requirement is Wisconsin state law, but if approved on the ballot, it would be enshrined in the Wisconsin's Constitution.
There are exceptions for this. There are a number of ways you could legislate around this, but let's keep the fundamental piece in the Constitution. So why don't we just take a common sense vote, pass this, and send it out to the people?
Democrats argue adding the voter ID requirement to the Constitution would make it harder for people to vote, and they're accusing Republicans of playing politics.
Making it more difficult to vote helps Republicans. And as seats are slipping away from them, they're trying to drive out their base and keep them, even if it means attacking our fundamental right to vote.
The bill passed along party lines in the Assembly. Since it's now passed in both legislative chambers, voters will see the constitutional amendment language on their ballot come April. Today, Governor Evers signed an executive order creating the Office of Violence Prevention. That move comes 1 month after the shooting at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison. The office will help coordinate law enforcement and other government agencies, give grants to support violence prevention, and look for ways to improve state law and policies. The measure began as a proposal by Representative Sheila Stubbs, a Democrat from Madison.
There are families that are still broken that will never be the same. And so I think that that's why it was a mixed day for me. I know my work was important, but I think about those families who were impacted by gun violence.
Evers is funding the office with federal money for the next 2 years. After that, the office will need state funding that it might not get. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos, a Republican, said the Assembly will not support the money, saying the plan is not well thought out and that the police already provide violence prevention services. The deadline to enroll in the Affordable Care Act's enhanced premium tax credits for marketplace coverage ends tomorrow. Last year, 231,000 Wisconsinites enrolled, saving $573 every month on average. Now these ACA tax credits are set to expire at the end of the year, and if they do, health care premiums would increase by 7.9%, and 3.8 million Americans would lose their health insurance altogether. So to address this, U.S. Senators Tammy Baldwin and Chien introduced legislation to make the premium tax credits permanent. It's called the Health Care Affordability Act.
I think it's so critical that we continue those, make them permanent tax credits so that people can afford their health care. You know, the cost of things is so high, whether that's groceries or gas or healthcare and medicines, and we got to fight to lower them. And this enhanced tax credit will do just that.
And Baldwin is urging people to reach out to their representatives to get involved. As the result of a failed operational referendum back in November, the Prairie to Chien School District finds itself in a tough spot. Chandler Brinley has continuing coverage for us tonight on decisions made at last night's school board meeting.
The Prairie to Chien School Board met for its monthly meeting Monday night. The district has looked at moving grades 6 through 8 to the high school, possibly closing the district's elementary school and leasing up to 8,000 square feet of the middle school, which is no longer being looked at. Monday night, the decision of moving grades 6, 7, and 8 was tabled to the board's February meeting as the board continues to receive feedback from district members. 2 community members shared their thoughts during the board meeting. Concerns of space for teachers, staff, and students, along with funding, were stated from both who spoke. It was encouraged that the board spend more time listening to community members and look more at this item before moving students and making a decision. After closed session, the board voted for a resolution authorizing the school district budget to exceed revenue limits by $1,750,000 per year for 4 years for non-recurring purposes. They also voted on a resolution providing for a referendum election on the question of the approval of authorizing the school district budget to exceed revenue limits by $1,750,000 per year for 4 years for non-recurring purposes.
All right. Thank you, Chandler. A lot of information there. Prairie to Chien's next school board meeting, February 2nd at 5:30 p.m. Well, there is a chance to donate this week with Toma Health and Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin holding a 2-day blood drive. According to Versity officials, January is especially difficult, coming off the holidays when the blood demand outpaces the incoming donations. Now, to meet the need, they're holding a 2-day blood drive Wednesday and Thursday. That's January 15th and 16th from noon until 5 p.m. at Toma's Recreation Park. Now, eligible donors, you must be in good health, at least 17 years of age, weigh at least 110 pounds, and have a photo ID. Now, this is the first of 6 blood drives that are scheduled for this year. If you want to register, you can go to tomahealth.org. A fun opportunity this morning for area nonprofits to connect with one another speed dating style. Leaders from 16 different area nonprofits gathering at Franciscan Spirituality Center for the first speed dating for nonprofits. Each organization's representative had 10 minutes to meet another organization before rotating to the next one. Well, it's a chance to not only connect with like-minded partners, but to explore potential collaborations and alliances within the community.
Resources often are very stretched, but when we come together and we do things and we resource share and we finance share and we idea share, that can really shift the energy of our nonprofit sector and make us more impactful as a whole.
The event, made possible through a partnership between the La Crosse Area Community Foundation and the Franciscan Spirituality Center. They say this was a great first event and they hope to continue it in the future. The latest art installation at the La Crosse Pump House is showcasing some young local talent. Officially opening this evening, the art exhibit features work from 9 different La Crosse schools, elementary through high school, everything from drawings, paintings, and sculpture, all on display. It's an opportunity for the entire community to discover the creative side of what students are accomplishing in school.
It's very wonderful to have students in here using the space, and we love just to see the joy that kids have having their work in an art gallery alongside professional artists. So it's really wonderful to have all of the community come together and see so many different ages in the building.
The official opening happening tonight. The student art exhibit, though, runs through February 1st. The Pump House is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and on Saturdays from noon until 4.